Cleveland Indians baseball. It's Sunday, August 22nd, as Cleveland takes on the Chicago White Sox in Game 3 of a weekend series. Cleveland is trying to avoid the three-game sweep. Yesterday, the Indians were let down by their pitching. And they were beaten by the White Sox 12-3. Ray Lamb got the start and he took the loss. The Indians pitching just wasn't up to the task yesterday. Chicago is in first place in the American League East or American League West. They're a half game ahead of Oakland. Later today, Oakland has a doubleheader in Oakland against the Boston Red Sox. For yesterday's game, I used the Indians and White Sox game as the game of the week, and I ended up making something of a miscalculation because I thought about using Boston at Oakland and decided not to, but Jim Hunter threw a two-hit shutout against Boston yesterday, including starting out the game with a perfect game through 6 innings. So I probably should have played that one, but I didn't. The Indians right now have a three-game losing streak. And the starting pitchers for today, Wilbur Wood starts for Chicago. He's made 29 starts. He's 21-6 with an ERA of 1.58. This is his fourth start against Cleveland. He's 2-1 with a 2.52 ERA against the Indians. And Steve Dunning takes the mound for Cleveland. He's made 24 starts this year. He is 5-13. He has an ERA of 5.90. This is his fourth start against Chicago. He's 0-2 with a 6.30 ERA against the White Sox. Here in Cleveland, it's 78 degrees. The wind speed is 8 miles per hour in from right center field. So once again, the wind will be coming in from downtown and not from off the lake. And we have light rain. Starting lineup for the Chicago White Sox. Leading off the first baseman, Carlos May. Batting second to right fielder, Pat Kelly. Batting third to second baseman, Mike Andrews. Batting fourth to third baseman, Bill Melton. Batting fifth to left fielder, Rick Reichert. Batting sixth to center fielder, Jay Johnstone. Batting seventh to catcher, Ed Herman. Batting eighth to shortstop, Luis Alvarado. And batting ninth to pitcher, Wilbur Wood. On defense, the Indians have Chris Chambliss at first base, John Lowenstein at second, Fred Stanley at shortstop, Greg Nettles at third, Roy Foster in left field, Frank Baker in center, Vada Pinson in right, and on the mound is Steve Dunning. Dunning has a record of 5-13 with one save. He's given up 31 home runs this year. He's walked 97. He has struck out 110. He is a hard thrower. only member of the Indians who probably throws harder than Dunning is Sam McDowell. Leading off is the first baseman, Carlos May. He's hitting .337. He has 11 home runs and 50 runs batted in. Inside, ball one. Too high, ball two. Ball three. Caught the outside corner, strike one. Ball four. And May leads off the game with a walk. Here's Pat Kelly, the right fielder. He's hitting .269. He has 1 home run, 11 runs batted in. Pat Kelly, he is the brother of Cleveland Browns running back Leroy Kelly. Swing and a miss, strike one on the fastball. Down and away, ball one. Dunning is really bringing some heat right now. Hits fly ball in the right field. Pinson drifting back, and he's got it. 1 out. Here is Mike Andrews. He is playing in place of Rich McKinney, the regular second baseman. He's away on military duty right now. Andrews is hitting .248. He has 4 home runs and 33 runs batted in. He's hitting .196 in August. Swing and a miss, strike one. Throw to first, and May is back. Check the swing. They appeal. Nope, he held up. Ball one. That was across the knee. Strike two. Too low on the breaking ball. Ball two. Bouncer up the middle. Base hit into center field. May around second. He'll take third. Runners at the corners. 1 out. And here is Bill Melton, who's hitting .290. He has 26 home runs, 87 runs batted in. Melton hit a home run Friday night, and he hit a home run yesterday afternoon. He's hitting .247 in August. Swing and a miss on a changeup. Strike one. Fossey throws down to first. Andrews just beat the throw. 1 ball, 1 strike. Hits bouncer to third. Nettles to second for 1. Throw to first, not in time. May scores. It's 1-0 Chicago. Here's Rick Reichert. He's hitting .294, 18 home runs, 76 runs batted in. He has a 6-game hitting streak right now. He's hitting .350 in August. Low, ball one. Ball two. That was outside on the black. Strike one. Base hit up the middle. Melton rounds second. He'll take third. Once again, we have runners at the corners. This time with 2 outs. And here's Jay Johnstone. Johnstone's hitting .248 with 8 home runs and 25 runs batted in. Hits a base hit into right field. Melton scores. Reichert rounds second. He'll take third. It's 2-0 Chicago. Here's the catcher, Ed Herman. He's hitting .217 with 15 home runs and 51 runs batted in. He's hitting .283 in August. Ball one. That was low. Just below the belt. Strike one. Swing and a miss. Strike two. He had a good cut, but he couldn't reach it. Ball two. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Changeup low and inside. Ball three. Full count. 2 outs. The payoff pitch. Ball four. Walk number 2 given up by Dunning. Bases are loaded. Here is Luis Alvarado. He's hitting 206. No home runs, 17 runs batted in. Spoiler alert. Luis Alvarado, future member of the Cleveland Indians. This is Alvarado's first season with the White Sox. He came over from Boston. He is a second-year man. Caught the inside corner. Strike one. 1 ball, 1 strike. Grounder to third. Nettles. Throw to second for the out. But the White Sox get 2 runs, 3 hits, no errors. They left 3 men on base. We go to the bottom of the first. Chicago 2, Cleveland coming to bat. The Indians starting lineup. Leading off the right fielder, Vada Pinson. Batting second, the first baseman, Chris Chambliss. Batting third, the catcher, Ray Fosse. Batting fourth, the left fielder, Roy Foster. Batting fifth, the third baseman, Greg Nettles. Batting sixth, the shortstop, Fred Stanley. Batting seventh, the center fielder, Frank Baker. Batting eighth, the second baseman, John Lowenstein. And batting ninth, the pitcher, Steve Dunning. On defense, the White Sox have Carlos May at first, Mike Andrews at second, Luis Alvarado at short, Bill Melton at third. Rick Reichart in left, Jay Johnstone in center, Pat Kelly in right. Catching is Ed Herman, and on the mound, Wilbur Wood. Wilbur Wood right now is the only 20-game winner so far in the major leagues. He is 21-6. He's pitched 250 and a third innings. He's given up 189 hits. 11 of those were home runs. He's walked 49. He has struck out 159. He is having an excellent season. He has an 8-game winning streak. His major league career goes back to cups of coffee in 1961 and 62. Previously pitched for the Red Sox and the Pirates. This is his first year as a starter. And he has responded by already winning 21 games. He's a knuckleball pitcher. And he has pitched several times this year on 2 and 3 days rest. He said his goal right now is to start and win both ends of a doubleheader. His last time pitching against Cleveland was August 11th, 11 days ago. He pitched a complete game, and the White Sox beat the Indians that day 4-1. That gave him his 19th win of the year. Or I'm sorry, no, that was his 20th win of the year. He's looking for win number 22 today. Here is Vada Pinson leading off. He's hitting 264, 10 home runs, 38 runs batted in. He's had an unhappy tenure in Cleveland, and he's hoping that it's coming to an end soon. Hitting 180 against lefties. The 0-1 pitch. Base hit in the right field. Pinson's on first. Nobody out. Here is first baseman Chris Chambliss. He's hitting 295 with 10 home runs and 36 runs batted in. He is a prime candidate to be the American League Rookie of the Year. Throw to first. Oh, and they got Pinson picked off. So 1 out. Here's the 0-2 pitch to Chambliss. Grounder to second. Andrews throws the first. 2 outs. Here's the catcher, Ray Fosse. He's hitting 292 with 7 home runs and 53 runs batted in. He's hitting 231 in August. The 1-1 pitch. Grounder to third. Melton throws. Bang, bang, play. He's out. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, no one left. We played 1 in Cleveland. It's Chicago 2, Cleveland nothing. Wilbur Wood leads off for the White Sox. He's hitting 130. No home runs, 2 runs batted in. He is 10 for 77. He has 1 double. The 2-2 pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3. First strikeout of the game for Steve Dunning. Here is Carlos May. He led off the game with a walk. He walked and scored in the first inning. The 2-2 pitch. Grounder to short. Stanley throws. Not in time. May legs it out. May is safe with an infield hit. Here's Pat Kelly. He's 0 for 1. He flied out last time up. There goes May. The throw, he is safe. Pitch was a strike. That was stolen base number 20 for Carlos May. Swing and a miss, strike 2. The 0-2 pitch, grounder to first. Chambliss tosses to Dunning, covering first. 2 outs as May advances to third. Here's Mike Andrews. He's 1 for 1. He singled in the first inning. Caught the inside corner, strike 1. Low and inside, ball 1. He swung at a bad pitch there, strike 2. It's grounder to third, Nettles, throw, it'll be close. Throws high, and it's out of Chambliss' reach. Andrews is safe at first, and May scores on the error. That's an error on Greg Nettles. It's 3-0 Chicago. Here's Bill Melton. He's 0 for 1. He grounded into a force play in the first, and that scored Carlos May with the first run of the game. Swing and a miss, strike 1. Another swing and a miss, strike 2. Grounder to short. Stanley throws the first. It's 3 outs. But the White Sox get 1 run, 1 hit on 1 error. 1 man was left. We go to the bottom of the second. It is Chicago 3, Cleveland nothing. Chicago's run in the second inning was unearned. Here's Roy Foster, the left fielder. He's hitting 243 with 15 home runs, 53 runs batted in. He's hitting 192 in August. The 1-0 pitch, grounder to first. May bobbles it. And he can't come up with it. Foster takes first on the error. Here is Greg Nettles hitting .286, 34 home runs, 103 runs batted in. Nettles leads the majors in runs batted in. He's the only major leaguer right now with over 100 RBIs, and he leads the American League in home runs. Only Henry Aaron with 35 has more home runs this season than Nettles. Here's a knuckler. He hits a little blooper to second base, and that's right at Mike Andrews. 1 out. Here's the shortstop, Fred Stanley. He's hitting .285, 4 home runs, and 35 runs batted in. Stanley was called up on May 20th. He was having a great season. Then he got called up for military duty, and since coming back, he is hitting .132 in the month of August. Here's a knuckler, caught the inside corner, strike 1. Another knuckleball, high, ball 1. That was low, that got past Ed Herman. Foster takes second, they're calling that a pass ball. So 1 out, runner on second. Stanley hits base hit in the right field. Kelly's up with it. Foster rounds third. Ooh, he'll hold. So we have runners at the corners. 1 out. Here's Frank Baker. Another rookie. 1. He needs to have 4 rookies in their lineup right today. Baker was called up on June 11th. They have Chris Chambliss, Fred Stanley, Frank Baker, and John Lowenstein in the lineup. And all 4 of those players are rookies. And they have second-year players Roy Foster and Steve Dunning. Sitting .119 against lefties in .206 in August. Hits a grounder to short. Alvarado to second for 1. And Stanley took Andrews out. But Foster scored. It's 3-1 Chicago. Here's John Lowenstein. He's hitting .130. He has 2 home runs and 7 runs batted in. He was called back up after Jack Heidemann underwent knee surgery. Fastball, that was called a strike. Swing and a miss, strike 2. Ball 1 on the knuckler. Ball 2 on the knuckler. Swing and a miss, strike 3. That's strikeout number 1 for Wilbur Wood. But the Indians had 1 run, 1 hit. There was 1 error, 1 man left. We played 2 in Cleveland. It is Chicago 3, Cleveland 1. Cleveland's run was unearned. Rick Reichert leads off for Chicago in the 3rd. He singled in the 1st. The 1-2 pitch. Grounder, Nettles dives, got it from his knees. Throws him out. Nice play by Nettles. 1 out. Here's Jay Johnstone. He's 1 for 1. He singled in the 1st. That scored Bill Melton. That made it 2-0 Chicago. The 2-2 pitch. Grounder to 3rd. Nettles up with it. Throw to 1st. Bang, bang play to be close. Oh, Johnstone legged it out. That is hit number 5 for Chicago. And their second infield hit. Here is Ed Herman. He walked in the first inning. Swing and a miss, strike one. There goes Johnstone. He is safe. Stolen base number 7. That pitch was a strike. It is 0-2. 0-2 on Herman. Runner on second. 1 out. Too high. Ball 1. Ball 2. Dunning is not very efficient at holding runners. In the dirt. That's a wild pitch. Johnstone takes third. That'll make it full count. 1 out. Liner down the third base line, but that's foul. Strike 3 called. It looked like Herman was looking for a fastball and got fooled by the curveball. 2 outs. That's strikeout number 2 for Dunning. Here is Luis Alvarado. He's 0 for 1. He grounded into a force play in the first inning. In there below the belt, strike 1. Grounder up the middle. Stanley to his left has it. Throws him out. No runs, 1 hit, no errors. 1 man left. We go to the bottom of the third. It is Chicago 3, Cleveland 1. Steve Dunning leads off for the Indians. He's hitting .208 with no home runs and 5 runs batted in. Here's the 3-2 pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Vada Pinson, the right fielder, he's 1 for 1. He singled in the first. He's hitting .404 in August. The 1-1 pitch up the middle. Andrews to his right has it. Throws him out. 2 outs. And here's Chris Chambliss, who's 0 for 1. He grounded to second. The 2-1 pitch. Base hit in the right field. Kelly throws it back in. Chambliss with a single. Here's Ray Fosse. He's 0 for 1. He grounded to third last time up. The knuckleball caught the corner. Strike 1. Strike 2 called on another knuckler. It's grounder right back to the box. Wood has it and throws him out. 3 outs, no runs, 1 hit, no errors, 1 left. We've played 3 in Cleveland. It's Chicago 3, Cleveland 1. Let's take a look around the league. Top of the 4th in Philadelphia. Phillies lead the Dodgers 3-2. That is Don Sutton against Jim Bunning. Don Sutton is going for his 20th win of the year. Bottom of the 2nd in Atlanta. Cardinals lead the Braves 3-1. Joe Haig hit his 22nd home run this year for the Cardinals. It's Steve Carlton against George Stone. Bottom of the 4th in Montreal, the Giants lead the Expos 6-3. Willie Mays hit his 16th home run. That is Gaylord Perry against Dan McGinn. Bottom of the 4th at Shea Stadium, the Padres lead the Mets 1-0. It's Fred Norman against Nolan Ryan. Top of the 5th in Cincinnati, Pirates and Reds, no score. Bob Johnson against Jim McLaughlin. Bottom of the 4th in Baltimore, the Orioles lead the Twins 3-0. That is Jim Cott against Pat Thompson. Pat Thompson is going for win number 19. Harmon Killebrew, the Twins, he needs 2 home runs to reach 500 home runs. Bottom of the 4th in Detroit, the Brewers and Tigers tied at 1. Johnny Briggs of Milwaukee hit his 26th home run. That's Skip Lockwood against Joe Coleman. Bottom of the 1st in Kansas City, Senators and Royals, no score. That's Bill Gogoleski against Mike Hedlund. And bottom of the 1st at Wrigley Field, Astros and Cubs, no score. That's Don Wilson against Bill Hands. In Chicago, Ernie Banks, he has been stalled since May at 499 home runs. He needs 1 to reach 500. In the 4th inning for the White Sox, it will be Wilbur Wood, Carlos May, and Pat Kelly. Wilbur Wood is 0 for 1. He struck out last time up. The 1-2 pitch. Grounder up the middle. Stanley has it. Throws him out. 1 out. Here's Carlos May. He's 1 for 1. He has a walk and an infield single. It's base hit into right field. That's his 2nd hit of the game. He got hung up between 1st and 2nd. And Chambliss tagged him out. Lowenstein dove. He couldn't make the play. Let's watch that again. Lowenstein dives. Can't make it. Pinson comes up with it. Throws it in. May got hung up, and Lowenstein tossed to Chambliss, and he's out. 2 outs. Here's Pat Kelly. He's 0 for 2. He flied out to right, and he grounded to first. His brother Leroy Kelly is in attendance today. It's a grounder to third. Nettles is up with it, throws him out. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, no one left. We go to the bottom of the 4th. It is Chicago 3, Cleveland 1. Leroy Kelly's in attendance. The Browns played an exhibition game in Dallas on Friday night, which Dallas won that game 16-13. Leading off for Cleveland in the bottom of the 4th is Roy Foster. He's 0 for 1. He was safe on an error in the 2nd inning. He's hitting .368 against Chicago. The 2-0 pitch. He hits a fly ball in the right field. Kelly's drifting back, and he's got it. 1 out. Here's Greg Nettles. He's 0 for 1. He lined out to Mike Andrews in the 2nd inning. The 1-2 pitch. It's a grounder back to the box. Wood has it. Throws him out. 2 outs. And here's Fred Stanley. He's 1 for 1. He singled in the 2nd. The 3-1 pitch. Ball 4. First walk given up by Wilbur Wood. Here's Frank Baker. He's 0 for 1. He grounded into a force play in the 2nd inning. That scored Roy Foster. That was an unearned run for the Indians. Knuckleball at the knee, strike 1. Yeah, there was an unearned run because Foster was safe on an error. Another knuckler, swing and a miss, strike 2. Strike 3, right at the knees, called strike 3. Strikeout number 3 for Wood. The Indians had no runs, no hits, no errors, 1 left. We played 4 at Cleveland Stadium. It is Chicago 3, Cleveland 1. Fifth inning for the White Sox, and Mike Andrews leads off. He's 1 for 2. He singled in the first, and he was safe on an error in the second. That scored Carlos May with an unearned run for the White Sox. The 3-1 pitch. Ball 4. Third walk given up by Dunning. Here is Bill Melton. He's 0 for 2. Grounded into a force play in the first. That scored Carlos May with the first run of the game, and he grounded out in the second. Reichert's on deck. Swing and a miss, strike 1. Strike 2 called. Ball 1, 1 ball, 2 strikes. Low, ball 2. Strike 3 called. Strikeout number 3 for Dunning. 1 out. Here's Rick Reichert. He's 1 for 2. He singled in the first and grounded to third in the third. Fouls it back. Strike 1. Low and away. Ball 1. Ball 2. It's fly ball in left field. Foster going back. He's at the wall, and that is gone. Home run number 19 for Rick Reichert. That'll make it 5-1. That is the 32nd home run of the year given up by Steve Dunning. Here's Jay Johnstone. He's 2 for 2. He singled in the first. That scored Bill Melton. And he had an infield single in the third. 1 out. Nobody on. It's base hit in the right field. Pinson's up with it. That's hit number 3 today for Jay Johnstone. Here's Ed Herman. He's 0 for 1. He walked in the first and struck out in the third. Check this swing. Fosse appeals. No swing. Ball 1. Fouls it back. Fosse's after it, but it makes seats. There goes Johnstone. Fosse's throw. He's out. That was close, but Fosse got him. 2 outs. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Herman hits fly ball in the left field. Foster drifting over, and he's got it. 3 outs. But Chicago gets 2 runs, 2 hits, no errors. No one left. We go to the bottom of the 5th. It's Chicago 5, Cleveland 1. John Lowenstein leads off for Cleveland. He is 0 for 1 today. He struck out in the second inning. The 0-2 pitch. Strike 3 call. That's strikeout number 4 for Wilbur Wood. Pinch hitting for Steve Dunning is Jim Clark, another rookie. He's hitting .333, no home runs, 1 run batted in. He is 2 for 6 on the year. As a pinch hitter, he's hitting .200. He was called up on July 16th. He is 1 for 5 as a pinch hitter. And he has 4 walks as a pinch hitter. The 2-2 pitch. It's a bouncer to second. Andrews up with it to throw to first. 2 outs. Here's Veda Pinson. He's 1 for 2. He singled in the first and grounded out in the third. It's a 2-2 pitch. Grounder to first. May, he'll take it himself. No runs, no hits, no errors, nothing left. We played 5 complete. It's an official game in Cleveland. The White Sox lead the Indians 5-1. New pitcher for Cleveland is Ed Farmer. Farmer's making his 32nd appearance of the year. He has a record of 3-3 with 2 saves, an ERA of 5.61. 69 innings pitched. He's given up 83 hits. 17 of those been home runs. 46 walks, 46 strikeouts. Farmer is another rookie. He was called up on June 1st. He throws hard. Almost not quite as hard as Steve Dunning, but almost. And he tends to keep the ball up. So he does have a problem with the gopher ball. It'll be Luis Alvarado, Wilbur Wood, and Carlos May in the 6th inning for Chicago. Alvarado is 0 for 2. He grounded into a force play in the first and grounded out in the third. The 0-2 pitch. It's a liner, shortstop right at Stanley. 1 out. Here is Wilbur Wood. He's 0 for 2 today. He struck out in the second and grounded to Stanley in the fourth. The 0-2 pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3. 2 outs. Here's Carlos May. He's 2 for 2. Walked. He had an infield single in the second and singled in the fourth. But he was caught off first when he belatedly tried to get back to first after thinking about stretching it to a double. It's a grounder right back to the mound. Farmer bobbles it, but he picks it up and throws him out. 3 outs. Nothing across for Chicago in the 6th. We go to the bottom of the 6th. It is Chicago 5, Cleveland 1. Chicago has 5 runs, 8 hits, 1 error. They've left 5 men on base. Cleveland has 1 run, 3 hits, 1 error. They've left 3 men on base. Chicago scored in the first when Carlos May walked. Then with 1 out, Andrews singled. May took third. Then Bill Melton hit a grounder to third. They forced Mike Andrews at second, but couldn't turn the double play, and May scored. That made it 1-0. Reichert singled. Melton took third. And then Johnstone singled, and that scored Melton. That made it 2-0. Then in the second inning with 1 out, Carlos May singled on the infield, stole second, took third on a fielder's choice, and then scored on Greg Nettles' throwing error. That made it 3-0 Chicago. In the bottom of the second, Roy Foster was safe at first on Carlos May's error. Then with 1 out, he took second on a pass ball. Then Fred Stanley singled. That put runners at the corners. And then Frank Baker grounded to short, forcing Stanley at second. Chicago couldn't turn a double play. Stanley took out Mike Andrews. That scored Roy Foster. That made it 3-1. And then in the top of the 5th, with 1 out and Mike Andrews on first, Rick Reichert hit a 2-run homer. And that's where we're at right now. Chris Chambliss leads off the bottom of the 6th. He is 1 for 2. He singled in the third. The 2-2 pitch. Knuckleball. He called that strike 3. That was a little late. But Chambliss is called out on strikes. That's strikeout number 5 for Wilbur Wood. There's Roy Fosse. He's 0 for 2 today. Grounded out in the first, grounded out in the third. The 1-1 pitch. Fosse hits a base hit in the left field. Reichert throws it back in. Here is Roy Foster. He's 0 for 2 today. He was safe on an error in the second. And he eventually came around to score. And he flied out to right in the fourth. He has scored the Indians' only run of the game so far. Inside, ball 1. There's a foul tip, strike 1. Below the knees, ball 2. Strike 2 called on a knuckleball. It's a grounder to second. This could be 2 to Alvarado for 1. The first double play, 4-6-3 double play. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, no one left. We've played 6 in Cleveland. It's Chicago 5, Cleveland 1. Top of the 7th, it will be Pat Kelly, Mike Andrews, and Bill Melton for Chicago. Pat Kelly, he's 0 for 3. Flied out in the first. Grounded out in the second, grounded out in the fourth. Mike Andrews is up next. The 2-0 pitch. Base hit into center field. It's hit number 9 for Chicago. And it's Mike Andrews. He's 1 for 2. He singled in the first. He was safe on an error in the second. And he walked in the fifth. Ball 1. Too high, ball 2. Fouls it back, strike 1. There goes Kelly, the throw. He's safe. It's stolen base number 9 for Pat Kelly. That's the third stolen base of the game for Chicago. May stole second in the second inning. John Stone stole second in the third. Kelly stole second in the 7th. And John Stone was thrown out trying to steal in the 5th. Two balls, 2 strikes, no one out. It's a grounder to short. Stanley looks him back. Andrews legs it out. That's the 3rd infield hit today for Chicago. Runners on first and second, nobody out. And here's Bill Melton, who's 0 for 3. Grounded into a force play in the first. That scored a run. Grounded out in the second. Struck out in the 5th. Melton homered Friday night, and he homered yesterday afternoon. He's hitting .298 with 9 home runs with runners in scoring position. Curveball, ball 1. Caught the outside corner, strike 1. It's a deep fly ball into left field. Foster going back. He's at the wall. He's got it. One out. The runners have to retreat back to their respective bases. Here's Rick Reichert. He's 2 for 3. He singled in the first. Grounded out in the 3rd, and he had a 2-run homer in the 5th. Yesterday, Chicago hit 3 home runs in the 8th inning. 3 solo home runs. Swing and a miss, strike 1. Too high, ball 1. Fouls it back, strike 2. Swing and a miss, strike three. That's strikeout number 2 for Ed Farmer. 2 outs. Here's Jay Johnstone. He's 3 for 3. He singled in the first. He had an infield single in the third, and he singled in the fifth. Base hit into left field. Kelly rounds third. He'll score. It's 6-1 Chicago. That's Johnstone's 4th hit today. Here is Ed Herman. He's 0 for 2. He walked, he struck out, and he flied out. Swing and a miss, strike 1. Too low, ball 1. Hits a grounder on the infield. Nettles to his left. Has it to throw to second for the out. But the White Sox get 1 run, 3 hits, no errors. They left 2 men on base. We go to the bottom of the 7th. It is Chicago 6, Cleveland 1. Let's look around the league again. Top of the 6th in Philadelphia. Dodgers have taken the lead over the Phillies 5-4. Bill Sudakis hit his 4th home run. Don Sutton looking for his 20th win. Bottom of the 5th in Atlanta, the Braves lead the Cardinals 5-4. Earl Williams, one of the prime candidates for National League Rookie of the Year, hit his 29th home run for the Braves. Top of the 7th in Montreal, the Giants lead the Expos 8-4. Willie Mays is 4 for 4 today. Bottom of the 6th at Shea Stadium in New York. Mets lead the Padres 8-1. Don Clendenon is 3 for 4. That's Ed Acosta now against Nolan Ryan. Bottom of the 8th in Cincinnati, the Pirates lead the Reds 2-1. Jackie Hernandez hit his 3rd home run for Pittsburgh. That's Nelson Briles against Wayne Granger. Top of the 8th in Baltimore, the Orioles lead the Twins 5-1. It's Ray Corbin against Pat Dobson. Dobson's looking for his 19th win of the year. Top of the 7th in Detroit, the Brewers lead the Tigers 5-2. Bill Voss of Milwaukee hit his 16th home run. Bottom of the 4th in Kansas City, the Royals lead the Senators 2-0. And top of the 5th at Wrigley Field, the Astros lead the Cubs 8-1. And in the bottom of the 7th, for the Indians, it will be Nettles, Stanley, and Baker. Nettles is 0 for 2 today. He lined out and he grounded out. He has a 6-game hitting streak on the line. The 0-1 pitch. It's a liner in the left field, but it's right at Reichert, I'm sorry. Suddenly thought of Pete Rickard. I don't know why. And that's 1 out. Here is Fred Stanley. He's 1 for 1. He singled and he walked. The 3-1 pitch. Grounder up the middle. That's a base hit. That's his 2nd hit of the day. He might be getting his batting eye back finally after his time away for his military obligation. Here's Frank Baker. He's 0 for 2. He grounded into a force play in the 2nd. That scored Roy Foster, and he struck out in the 4th. So he has driven in the Indians' only run today. Knuckleball low, ball 1. Hits bouncer to second. Andrews to Alvarado. There'll be no throw to first. 2 outs. Baker takes second. After Stanley was eliminated in fielder's choice. Here's John Lowenstein. He's 0 for 2. He struck out twice today. Swing and a miss, strike one. Ball one. Swing and a miss, strike two. Strike three called. That's strikeout number 3 for Lowenstein today. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, 1 left. We've played 7 here at Cleveland Stadium. It is Chicago 6, Cleveland 1. For Chicago in the 8th, it will be Luis Alvarado, Wilbur Wood, and Carlos May. Alvarado is 0 for 3. The 2-1 pitch. Liner into center field. Baker coming in, he dives. Can't make the play. But he keeps it in front of him, so Alvarado is held to a single. Here is Wilbur Wood. They're going to play him for the bunt. He's a good bunter. He's 0 for 3. Lays one down. Fossey gets a great jump on it. Throws to first. For the out. Alvarado takes second on the sacrifice. 1 out. Here is Carlos May, who's 2 for 3. He walked. Singled on the infield. Singled again in the 4th. And he grounded out in the 6th. Low. Ball 1. Swing and a miss. Strike 1. Too high. Ball 2. Ball 3. 3 balls. 1 strike. May hits a base hit in the left field. Alvarado rounds third. He'll stay put. Runners at the corners. 1 out. Here is Pat Kelly, who's 1 for 4. He singled last time up in the 7th inning. Mike Andrews on deck. Strike 1 called. Up and in, ball 1. It's a slow roller to first. Chambliss. To second for 1. May took out Stanley. No throw to first. It's 7-1. Chicago. Here's Mike Andrews. He's 2 for 3 today. He singled in the 1st, was safe on an error in the 2nd. That scored Carlos May. He walked in the 5th, and he singled on the infield in the 7th. So he's had a productive day. He's been on base every plate appearance that he's had today. Bill Melton's on deck. Too high, ball 1. Another one too high, ball 2. Strike 1 called. It's pop foul, first base side. Chambliss is after it, but that'll make the seats. Too high, ball 3, full count, 2 outs. Strike 3 called. Chicago gets 1 run, 2 hits, no errors. They left 1 man on base. We go to the bottom of the 8th. It is Chicago 7, Cleveland 1. Pinch hitting for Cleveland will be Kurt Bevacqua. Another rookie. Bevacqua's hitting .135. No home runs, no runs batted in. He's hitting .095 as a pinch hitter. He was called up on May 9th. He is 2 for 21 as a pinch hitter with 1 walk and 7 strikeouts. Well, as pinch hitting. The 1-2 pitch. It's a grounder to first. May is up with it. He'll take it himself. 1 out. Here's Veda Pinson. He's 1 for 3. He singled in the first inning. The 2-0 pitch. Base hit up the middle. It's Pinson's second hit today. Here's Chris Chambliss. He's 1 for 3. He singled in the third. Knuckler, he fouls that one back. Strike one. Sixth inning in Philadelphia. The Dodgers have jumped out to a 9-4 lead. The 0-1 pitch. Grounder right back to the mound. Wood has it. His only play is the first. 2 outs. Pinson takes second. Here's Ray Fosse. He is 1 for 3 today. He singled in the sixth. Swing and a miss on a knuckleball. Strike one. Ball one. Called strike. That was a little late on that call. Strike two. Swing and a miss. Strike three. On what looks like one of the slowest pitches of the game. The Indians get no runs. 1 hit, no errors. They left 1. We go to the 9th inning. It's Chicago 7, Cleveland 1. Coming in a pitch for the Indians is Phil Hennigan. He's making his 40th appearance of the year. He is 2-2 with 8 saves. He has an ERA of 5.40. He has walked 45, struck out 52. Bill Melton leads off for Chicago. He's 0 for 4 today. The 0-1 pitch. It's a hard grounder to third. Nettles to his left has it. Throws him out. 1 out. Here's Rick Reichert. He's 2 for 4. He singled in the first and he hit a 2-run homer in the 5th. The 0-2 pitch. Grounder up the middle. That's a base hit. That's hit number 14 for Chicago, and that's Reichert's 3rd hit. Here is Jay Johnstone. He's 4 for 4 today. So between Reichert and Johnstone, they have half of the Chicago hits today. Johnstone singled in the first. That scored Bill Melton. He had an infield single in the 3rd. He singled again in the 5th. And he singled again in the 7th. That scored Pat Kelly. So he has 2 RBIs today. Hitting .263 against right-handers. Too high, ball one. Swing and a miss, strike one. Swing and a miss, strike two. Ball two. Hits a grounder short. Could be 2. Nope. The only throws the first. Just in time for the out. Two outs. Here is Ed Herman. He's 0 for 3 today. Hits a liner right back to the mound, and Hennigan catches that one almost in self-defense. Chicago gets no runs, 1 hit, no errors. They left 1 on base. We go to the bottom of the 9th. It is Chicago 7, Cleveland 1. For the Indians in the 9th, it will be Roy Foster, Greg Nettles, and Fred Stanley, the heart of their order. Roy Foster, he's 0 for 3 today. The 2-2 pitch. Grounder to third. Melton is up with it. Throw to first. 1 out. Here's Greg Nettles. He's 0 for 3 today. 2-0 pitch. Liner in the center field. Here comes Johnstone. He's coming in. He takes it on the short hop. Nettles has hit in 7 straight games. And let's see, he's seven straight and 8, 9, 10, and 13 of his last 15 games. Make that 21 of his last 24 games. Here's Fred Stanley. He's 2 for 2 today. Knuckleball, ball 1. He singled in the second, walked in the fourth, and singled in the seventh. The 1-0 pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 1. Stanley hits base hit in the left field. That's his 3rd hit of the game. Excuse me. Nettles round second. He'll take 3rd. Melton dove, but he couldn't make the play. Here's Frank Baker. He's 0 for 3 today. Fouls it back. Strike 1. Inside, ball 1. Swing and a miss, strike 2. Pops it up on the infield. Alvarado takes charge. He's got it. 2 outs. Indians are down to their final out, and pinch hitting for Lowenstein will be Lou Camilli. Camilli is hitting .237. No home runs, 9 runs batted in. But as a pinch hitter, he is hitting .500 with 2 runs batted in. As a pinch hitter, he is 12 for 24 with 3 doubles and 3 walks. Lowenstein, he has struck out 3 times today. Knuckleball painted the outside corner, strike 1. Down and away, ball 1. Foul tip, strike 2. Camilli, it's base hit in the right field. Nettles scores. Stanley rounds second. To throw to third. He is out. That's the game. Camilli continued with his excellent pinch hitting, but Fred Stanley is thrown out at third to end the ball game. Chicago sweeps the Indians this weekend. Chicago had 7 runs, 14 hits, 1 error. They left 9 men on base. The Indians had 2 runs, 9 hits, 1 error. They left 6 men on base. Wilbur Wood gets a complete game win. He is 22-6. While Steve Dunning takes the loss, he is 5-14. Star of the game was Rick Reichert. He went 3 for 5 with 2 runs batted in and a 2-run home run. Jay Johnstone went 4 for 5 with 2 RBIs for Chicago, while Carlos May went 3 for 4. On the Indian side of the ledger, Fred Stanley went 3 for 3. Maybe he's getting his hitting stroke back. Indians gave up 14 hits today. He only walked 3, though. Dunning walked 3 in 5 innings. Neither Farmer or Hennigan gave up any walks. Wood looked good today. He pitched a complete game, 9 innings. He gave up 9 hits, gave up 2 runs. One of those was unearned. He walked one. He struck out 7. The time of this game was 2 hours and 57 minutes. Chicago maintains at least a tie for first place in the American League West. The A's and the Red Sox just got underway in game one of a doubleheader in Oakland. If Oakland wins both of those games, they will be in a first place tie at the end of the day with Chicago. Once again, our final score here today was Chicago 7, Cleveland 2. Next up for the Indians will be, let's see, Milwaukee coming to Cleveland for a weeknight series. And then Minnesota coming in for a weekend series. So I hope you enjoyed this game, even though Cleveland didn't play particularly well. Got to see a good pitching performance from Wilbur Wood. He is the front runner for the Cy Young Award in the American League this year, and this has been his second good pitching performance in a row against Cleveland. And once again, our final score, Chicago 7, Cleveland 2. Hope you enjoyed this game, and thank you for watching.